If when you're defending yourself against somebody, you're in a clinch position, you're throwing all these strikes, that works great, but I start throwing some knees, which again is a great strike to use when you're in these types of situations, but you do have to be careful for certain circumstances, and this is one of them. So if I'm throwing these knees and somehow he manages to grab a hold of this knee, you can find yourself in a very bad position very quickly if you let this settle. Now, you have to understand from this position what his opportunities are with picking up my leg. Now, from a grappling perspective, this is pretty much a single leg setup. He has the opportunity, if he wanted to literally just continue driving now right through me. He could even let go of one arm and grab my other leg and essentially kind of get like a double leg, and he's just going to plow straight through you into the ground. So that's a very shitty spot to be in pretty much. So other options that he has is he can pretty much just high pick your leg as high as he can and just lift that leg way up. And again, he can start pulling you, pushing you, he can sweep your other leg, and again, just use this as an opportunity to take me down to the ground, where then he's going to be on top, pounding you, grabbing you, whatever the case is. But again, it's just a bad position to be in, so you have to understand that circumstance. He can simply just start stepping back and dropping his weight and pressuring my leg down, and again, take it to the ground. So basically, when you get into these situations where he does manage to grab your knee, it's basically he's just going to try and take you to the ground from there, but the problem is that there's so many different opportunities from this position that it's hard to kind of predict where this person's going to go. Now, from my end on the defensive side, it's pretty much going to be the same defense regardless of the position, as long as I can maintain the pressure from here. If it gets to the point where I'm losing control of the pressure, and let's say he starts backing up again and pulling me back down, I'm going to have to readjust my technique's a little bit different than if he starts, high rising my leg a little bit. It's going to be a little bit different in how I react there. But the initial, he picks up my leg, this is going to be the same defense regardless. Again, it's just going to change depending on which way he goes after that fact. Some people will try and turn and burn, essentially where they're turning, dropping that knee, pulling that leg out, and essentially running away. Now, that works if he's grabbing the low part of your leg below the knee, because again, I have my knee accessible. I can easily turn, drop that knee through, kick that leg, and I run. But in this situation, when he's grabbing high like this, I can't physically turn, and by me trying to turn and run, I'm literally giving him my back, and I'm also giving him a better opportunity to grab that far leg, either take the back or take it to the ground. So you don't want to turn and burn in this situation. When they are holding onto you like this, the biggest key here is going to be getting the pressure down on this person's head immediately. So one of two ways that you can do this. First one is simply just pushing down on the head. Now again, in the street situation, I'm not just going to kind of casually put my hand here. I'm striking straight down, posting on this head, getting nice and heavy on here. Again, if I can keep his head pressure down, it's harder for him to drive into me. It's harder for him to pull me, because he's going to need to utilize that head pressure to push into my body and direct where he's going to go exactly. So if I can keep this head pressure down, that works well in my favor. Other option instead of this is essentially doing a cross face. Now again, I'm not just casually putting my arm across. I'm going to strike across a person's face, latch onto the shoulder, make this nice and tight. And again, I'm just applying this pressure, and I'm basically just trying to keep his head away from my body, because that allows me to start working on my leg. So that's the head pressure that you're going to work on. Second stage of this is working on the leg that they're actually grabbing onto. During this whole thing, I'm literally just trying to kick my leg back as hard as I can. Now, if this person's really strong, it may be a little bit of a slow motion, but I'm not going to just casually kind of bring my leg down. I'm going to be trying to kick this leg free the entire time, make it real hard for this person to hold on, all while at the same time I'm putting pressure. So if we're just talking on this side, again, I'm either posting here or grabbing across, and I'm just kicking this leg free. Your other hand is also going to be key. So when you're doing this whole process over here, I want to hook the inside of the thigh a little bit if I can. I want to pull up on this elbow if I can. If somehow I can reach in and start separating, you can kind of start working whizzers a little bit, where I'm coming in behind the shoulder, tucking on the inside, and again, starting to elevate the elbow and the shoulder a little bit. That's all great as well. But I'm basically just trying to apply pressure on this side of the body that helps separate that grip. So you're working this position from three different directions. I'm working on head pressure, I'm working on my leg pressure, and I'm working on relieving his grip with my other hand. All three of those things tied together makes it very difficult for this person to be able to maintain control of that knee. But again, this only works if I do this immediately. When he gets in this position, he's not going to sit here. He's instantly going to try and start working to take you down. Now, I may be able to kind of hold my balance a little bit and get heavy as I'm working this, but eventually it's going to be dependent on how experienced is this person on chaining the different takedowns together. Is he going to just keep trying to do the same one, or is he going to instantly switch to another one? And how efficient am I at being able to maintain my balance and keep pressure on him at the same time? So, I'm throwing the knees, he grabs it in here again. The second they lock on, pick which pressure you want to do, lock some sort of pressure up on the other side, and kick that leg free. Once this happens, couple options. clear the space and just break that distance and get out of the situation altogether. Continue throwing strikes. I can throw these close quarter elbows a little bit. I can throw heel palms. You can throw punches. If you want to throw another knee from this position, you can. Again, obviously just be careful in case they grab it a second time, but hopefully from this situation, if I break it right away and come right back in with a knee, they shouldn't be expecting to be able to grab that immediately. So yes, you could probably get away with a couple knees, especially from this angle. Otherwise, I can also start back stepping and work myself off at an angle, take the person's back, take the person down, so you do have options in that situation. So again, the biggest takeaway from the situation, when they do grab your leg like that, when you understand that you are in a position to where they could possibly take you down very easily, apply that pressure right away, break that distance right away, or follow up immediately with strikes. So give that a shot, let us know what you think. We'll see you next time.